Nearly 2 years into the war in Ukraine, we're learning more about another great growing threat from Russia, its military buildup in the Arctic Circle. Now, just last week, Russian President Vladimir Putin unveiled 2 nuclear submarines in the country's far north. Holly Williams traveled to a remote island off Norway, a key NATO ally of the U.S.
Deep inside the Arctic Circle, Norway's Svalbard archipelago is home to the world's northernmost permanent human settlement. Scientists say climate change is happening faster here than anywhere else on the planet.
Welcome aboard.
Thank you. Captain Stig Henningsen told us when he was a child, even the widest fjords used to freeze over.
Earlier we had sea ice during the winter, but very seldom now we have sea ice in the fjord here.
A warming Arctic is destructive to the environment, but it could also turn the top of the world into a military flashpoint, with the US and its NATO allies on one side and Russia on the other. The melting polar ice cap has opened up new shipping routes and vast reserves of oil and gas. To assert its interests, Russia is using the Arctic to test hypersonic missiles designed to avoid American defences. In August, Russia and China sent a flotilla of warships to patrol waters just off Alaska. And Moscow now commands a third more Arctic bases than the US and NATO combined. Experts say the West lags 10 years behind Russia's military in the region. Hedvig Moe is the former deputy head of Norway's intelligence service. Last year, she helped catch a suspected Russian spy.
Why is Norway a major target for Russian espionage?
The northern parts of Norway, including Svalbard, is particularly important to Russia because they have a nuclear submarine stationed in Kola, which is very close to the Norwegian border. Those nuclear submarines need a clear line to get out from Kola towards the US to be able to launch their nuclear weapons in case of a conflict with the US.
It's about potential nuclear war.
We all hope we're not going to end up in that situation, but it's part of the defense that Russia has.
On Svalbard, Russia already has a toehold because of a century-old treaty that allows Russian citizens to live here visa-free in a NATO state. Barentsburg is a Russian coal mining settlement, complete with its own school, a giant Russian consulate, and earlier this year, a Russian military-style parade on Norwegian territory. Everything is owned by the Russian state-owned company.
Yeah, the trust. Yeah.
Dmitry Negrutsa told us he's in charge of public relations for the company that owns the mine. Is it profitable?
To my knowledge, not really.
Because the coal mine here doesn't seem like it's profitable, that in part fuels accusations that Barentsburg is a base for Russian espionage.
I can give you a very simple answer, that it's not.
The Russians say there's nothing to see here. This is not a base for espionage. Do you necessarily believe them?
I wouldn't go into specifics, but I can say that Svalbard is super important to Russia, so might be important to the intelligence services as well.
The US Department of Defense told us the number of Russian bases in the Arctic is not a useful measure of comparing capabilities, but it also says it's closely monitoring Russia's military buildup. America's ambassador to Norway told us Russian espionage in the country is worrying. And earlier this year, Norway expelled 15 Russian diplomats that it accused of spying. Nate.
Interesting answers to your questions. Holly, thank you.